Well, I kind of thought the card from Saratoga was formful yesterday, but just when you think it's looking like you might get some favorites, wow, some of those horses were pretty tough to pick. A couple races were good, but Saratoga can be tough. We all know that. It is a challenging track to bet, but it can be very rewarding too. So I have 3 watch list horses that I'll talk about today. One's actually at Del Mar, and I will mention that one too, but we'll get into it. One of my watch list horses, I will mention it, although I don't think the horse is in the right spot today at all. So it's probably one of those that I'll keep on the watch list for next time. Hopefully it enters in the right spot, but we'll get to that in a moment. We'll start here with race number 4 at Saratoga. It's supposed to be super hot today, like really steamy, humid and all of that. So race number 4, a mile on the turf. I'm more into Chocolate Cookie today than I was. She was the one I was against last time out because she was coming off a vet scratch. I just thought she was going to be susceptible as a favorite. She was her own worst enemy, stumbling at the start, and I thought she ran on well enough after that. So I think she'll be okay. She did have a work since that last start, so it looks like she's back on some kind of a normal routine, but obviously some physical things here. Started very, very late in her 3-year-old season, and just managing the 3 starts and then a big break here as well. But Chocolate Cookie, the one to beat. The watch lister is the 2-horse Mischievous Dream. Mischievous Dream for Christophe Clement had kind of a tough start last time out. So, you know, when you're going, so this was a yielding course as well. We'll look at the start. It's not like she's a real speed demon anyways, but you know, she was compromised here. So she's a 6-horse. So she just, I mean, she loses her path. It's kind of a 50-50. You know, she's not a real barn burner out of the gate. So when you leave that little bit of a void, it's like a vacuum, it will get filled. So she's back here now, but I thought she ran on kind of willingly after that. She finished well enough. She looks like she should be suited. You know, we're going a mile, so she gets a little bit of extra ground. She's another one with a lot of gaps, but she is just a 3-year-old filly. Lots of stakes action here for her. Some of these other ones, you know, it's the Chocolate Cookies, a 4-year-old now, been kind of just trying to get through her allowance conditions. Mischievous Dream with 2 wins, and one of them was in a stake race in Jersey. You know, the rest of these, light in the sky. Her last start was pretty good, so now she turns back in distance. Santana has not been winning on the turf course. It just, hey, like he rides a lot for Asmussen, and Asmussen doesn't run that many on turf in Saratoga. So I'm kind of against Spongy. I think this last win was extremely dressed up. They went ridiculously fast fractions here. The race kind of fell in her lap. Like, look at these fractions. 22 and 3, 46 and 3, 110. The speed horses chasing Cara was just setting a ridiculous pace. Pandemom held pretty well, just chasing her, but I thought Spongy kind of was an opportunist. I'm not completely against her. I guess, yeah, I'm kind of against her because I think she will be overbet, but Rosario has gotten very good results with her. So the 1 and 2 for me, maybe a little bit of Spongy. I'm not a huge, I have nothing against Spongy. Race number 8. Don't hold grudges against horses. They're wonderful beings. 7 furlongs on the dirt for this one. Another watch lister in here. Or no, this isn't a watch lister. This is just a horse that I kind of want to bet. You know, you get these horses. I have to talk to you for a minute. Let's talk. You get these horses that you want. I mean, I do. I focus on a horse and then I kind of handicap the race around it. And I want to make this horse my one to bet because I think I'll get 5-2 or 3-1 or something. It seems reasonable. And then I start to think about it and there's some things. Let me show by example. Words don't teach, examples teach. So let's, it's an upper level allowance race. I'm just thinking here. Jeremiah Englehart's, which isn't a good thing, Mojovation is interesting. Like, this was a cheap claimer, but his last race I thought was pretty good. Now going turf to dirt, that's a fairly strong Englehart angle. So it's Mijos, the one I'm talking about. Mijos looks like he's in the right spot. It's a Brad Cox horse. It's Rosario riding. Rosario was ridden a couple times. The horse had not a great result at Saratoga. He's run at Saratoga 3 times, just 1/3. He's always coming at the end, right? But he does have 4 wins, only 1 second, so he's not one of those that gets completely out of it. Problem with Mijos, and we can watch his last start. Actually watch just the pan because the head-on doesn't really show much. So he's the 2 horse in here. And I don't even know what he was doing. It's like he didn't even care. Rosario tried to get him into the race early on. And there we go. Like you can see Rosario, you get the red helmet. You can't miss him. You see him, he's urging, saying, come on, Black Stallion, let's get into this race. And he doesn't. He's more than happy to just lay back. So now Joel's going to sit kind of quietly and say, all right, well, we'll try it your way. He's going to, we can fast forward it here a little too far. He's going to run up a bit. You know, he's still like, look where you are. How are you going to win a race from back here? You frustrating being. And, you know, he'll make this, he'll pass tired horses is what he does. You know, this one's tired, going backwards. That one's completely done. This is the eventual winner, Gun Runner, who was impressive. And there's Mijos, just, you know, finishing third, which he tends to do. I like him in this spot, but I mean, he's risky because that's what he does. The other alternative to him is Chocolate Bar, the 6 horse. Mike Maker won with an impossible horse yesterday. That barn is just ridiculous right now. Jose back in the saddle. He's ridden the horse well before, some third place finishes. Chocolate Bar does tend to, he's a little bit, he's at least got some tactical speed, so he should be sitting closer. The thing I'm not sure about him is they were insistent on him being a turf horse, and he was a good turf horse. He won a couple of races. Then they got washed off. They ran him, and he finished okay, so now they want him to be a dirt horse, but I can't blame them for trying. 7 furlongs. That's what I like about Mijo. 7 furlongs should be the right trip for him. Anyways, enough about that. Race number 9, the last race I'll look at today. This is another watch horse who I think is completely in the wrong spot, but I'll talk about it anyways. 5.5 furlongs on the turf. This race is impossible. The one, Uncle's Gem, coming off a maiden win, probably takes a lot of money because she controls the inside. She does have some tactical early speed, but I don't think she's going to get left alone there. So although I do think she's a player, I'm kind of against her in a couple of ways. But there's just not a lot of big winners in here. I like It's a Keeper. She could only get on a regular racing schedule because, you know, she's getting these gaps. She's getting a little long in the tooth. She only has 2 wins. Not sure she can win this race. Canarsie Angel, you know, for a horse that's been kind of bantied about the claiming ranks, she's not completely out of this race. In fact, I think she's kind of a major contender. Fractorization, I looked at her for a while. I think I like the way that she's got some speed, but she hasn't shown a lot of finish the last 2 starts, which is a bit concerning. Mozienko's my watch horse. The last race was so solid. Horse tried. She tried through the whole thing. She just missed, finishing third by a neck. I was waiting for her to come back. So that was beginning of July. She worked once. I was like, okay, where are they going to put her now? She's changed trainers. Dennis Lallman, who I didn't know anything really about, he just gets a horse every once in a while and he kicks around the New York circuit. Some starts at Parks too, but he's at 4 wins lifetime in 62 starts. So, and today we're running on the turf. His overall record on turf, he's run 4 horses, 7 starts, 1 in the money finish. So that doesn't inspire a lot of confidence for my horse watch list. I mean, she's going to be huge odds anyways, but she's maybe a third. I don't know why we're on the grass with her. She has run on the grass before. It was a long time ago. She did it at Santa Anita. This race here actually makes her kind of competitive, but that was way back in February of 2020. And then she traveled east, and they forgot about turf with her for a long time as she switched trainers multiple times. What she looks like is a good maybe 10 or maybe a 20 claimer in a little tough on the wrong surface with a trainer that I don't know a lot about. So although she's on the watch list, I have my suspicions. Snicket. Oh, Snicket. Snicket is one of these, you like bet her if you want. I will never bet a horse like this. She has 1 win, 7 seconds. She's run on the turf 7 times, 6 second place finishes. She is one of those. Can she win today? Yeah, I mean, she's in probably a field that she should like. Blinkers go on, so Rosario probably came back and said, can we put blinkers on her, please, and see if she'll focus, and maybe that'll be the difference. At least they're making a change, so we'll give her that. If you keep seeing the same thing, you know, it's like banging your head against the wall and just keep on doing it. A change can sometimes wake a horse up, but she's up against it a little bit. She's got a tough outside post in a 5.5 furlong turf dash with, that race is tough. Race number 9 is tough because there's nothing that really looks like it wants to be a real winning kind of racehorse yet. Oh, one more. I almost forgot. We have our other watch horse is actually at Del Mar today. Almost forgot about you, Del Mar. And this one is in race number 2, a 5 furlong turf dash, $32,000 claimers. The O'Neill horse looks okay on the inside. That's not the one I want. The one I want is on the outside, and that's Grit and Curiosity. This one made the watch list from this last start. Mostly, it was an Oaklawn race, mostly because of the quality of the race. Several of these have come back. Jalen Journey's come back and won like 2 after that, hasn't he? Steve Asmussen, yeah, including his last start with a 102 buyer. There was some quality in this race behind Grit and Curiosity. Nifty won, Bank won, Home Base won. So yeah, there was a lot going on. I'm still waiting for Ancient Warrior to appear. I thought Grit and Curiosity ran well here. Look how close it was from 3rd to 5th. Well, 3rd to 6th, really. They were all right there. But Jalen Journey is the one out of this race that interested me the most. Now, Grit and Curiosity finds himself on the turf course, sprinting. Blinkers come off. He hasn't run since May. There's some works here. I like Peter Miller. I like Flavien Prat. I think the odds are good. His turf races are competitive enough, so he might be worth a look. He has 9 to 5 morning line, so I'm not exactly stepping out with a super big price. But he's on the watch list, so I told you guys I would let you know where they are, and that's where that one is. Enjoy Saratoga today. A couple of the races look pretty tough. Race 6 is tough. Race 9 is very tough too. So the late pick 5 should be interesting. Enjoy, and we'll check in tomorrow.